Welcome to Twilight Render's Getting Started video tutorial series. This is using depth of field. Here we are going to focus on using the exploration render so that you can set up depth of field quickly in your scene. Depth of field is, of course, the blurring of objects in relation to the camera. Depth of field looks better with higher quality render settings, looks best with unbiased render settings, and will increase render times. Here I have used the same wood coaster toy scene, but I've just eliminated all the other things so we can focus on the foreground, background, and midground distances from the camera with the blue, red, and yellow plastic balls. Let's go to our camera settings and enable depth of field with this checkbox. In depth of field, it's important to have an opening, and the opening in your camera is either circular or polygonal. In real life, the cameras are trying to get as circular as possible for the highest quality. So if you would like, just go ahead and just use the default circular and don't touch anything else, which is what we'll do right now. After that, you can use the scene view for positioning your scene view in Twilight Render. When you use the scene position tool, now you hold down the control button, and here you can see control equals the set camera focal point. Holding down the control button, you'll get this little magnifying glass to show that you've changed the tool mode. And now the camera will focus on that one point where you've clicked in your scene. This will help you quickly focus your camera. Here we'll click on the blue plastic balls, and now the camera's focusing there. And now we'll click on the red, and the camera changes its focus to the background. Depth of field is absolutely influenced by not only the focal point but also the f-stop inside your camera settings. So also be careful with trying to shoot depth of field with architectural renderings. Depth of field is obvious more easily in smaller scenes like this that we're using for this demonstration. In an architectural rendering, of course, maybe if there's a car in the extreme foreground or a leaf or something, and then the building in the background, you'll notice depth of field, but too much depth of field can make your architectural model look like a miniaturized model instead of a real-world scale. Here, let's choose a depth of field that's quite low, 2.8. Lowering the f-stop will increase the depth of field effect. And then as we change the focal point, you can see that everything else is quite blurred with such a low f-stop. If we increase the f number to like 16, then you have to click the Update Geometry button in the Exploration Render view. Now you can see the depth of field is less exaggerated. And now that we have a virtual camera instead of a real camera, we can even type in any f number we want. We're not limited to a normal camera f-stop. Here I'm doubling the number each time. Now we can go to 64 to really reduce the depth of field so we can give it just a subtle effect on the depth of field. And there we are with a subtle depth of field. And this is how your depth of field is controlled completely by the f number and then the focal point in using the scene view position tool. So if we lower the number once again to 2.8, you can see that everything else is completely out of focus. If you found this tutorial helpful, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, find further tutorials on our website, and join us on the forums.